Lifting a 13-stone bloke out of a swimming pool with just one arm. It was hard, but it was great. Hi, I'm Josh Boggi, and here's how I became the first triple amputee PADI rescue diver. And I love my career. I absolutely love being in the army. I served 10 years in the army in total. I was injured on my third tour in Afghanistan on New Year's Eve 2010. I went out of a bang, as they say. We were on a routine search patrol, and unfortunately I stood on an improvised explosive device which triggered beneath me. It blew me up off a road and into a ditch. And it wasn't until two of my friends jumped in the ditch with me and started putting tourniquets on my legs that I realised, wow, I've been injured. I was in no pain whatsoever. All I was concerned about was that everything was still between my legs. One of my best friends put his hands down there and said, yes mate, everything's still there. And I don't really remember much after that. I was put in an induced coma on the helicopter and woke up a week later in Birmingham. The first time I woke up, I thought I was in Star Wars. The dreams I was having were unreal. It's all down to the medication they're pumping into your system. Second time I woke up, there was a priest stood over me, so I thought, wow, I'm in heaven. I really couldn't get my head around what had happened. My dad and my ex-partner at the time had to keep telling me that my arm had gone and my legs had gone, and I'd wake up every day and wouldn't believe them. Gradually, as the drug load started to come down, you start to become more coherent. I started going to physio, started learning how to transfer into a wheelchair and everything. It was pretty hard at first, but sort of had that moment in life where I sort of had to accept what had happened to me. I went home for a week and then went to Headley Court, which is the Defence Medical Rehab Centre. When I got there, I got out of the wheelchair straight away. I didn't want to be the guy sat in the wheelchair. I wanted to push myself. From being injured to being 6 foot tall again was, I think it was 3 months. I was on my honeymoon in the Maldives. After 3 or 4 days of literally sunbathing, I was getting a bit bored, so I thought, well, let's try diving. How hard can it be? The minute I got my head under the water and got down and started to get a little bit buoyant, I fell in love with it straight away. Nothing's hurting, there's no aches and pains on your body. It's just calm, it's peaceful, there's not much current, and you can just absolutely lose yourself down there. My first experience with Deptherapy was going to Egypt in 2017, and the minute I met all the guys from the charity, I realised that these are a great group of people. We're working to the PADI sort of system and their qualifications, and that goes from open water to advanced open water to rescue. The next logical step for me was to attempt the rescue diver course, and I was under no illusions. The guys at Deptherapy said this is not going to be easy, the standards are there, you need to hit them, we're not just going to sign you off. We're treated the same as normal, everyday, able-bodied divers. You've got to be able to get someone out the water. Yeah, it was difficult, but I sort of worked out if I got myself out first, then I could literally use my good arm to pull them out. It's all about adapting and overcoming. The ocean terrifies me, and that's why I dive. Every time I go down I feel like I'm going to be attacked by a shark. So the next logical step for me is to overcome that fear. I've booked to go and do a week's shark diving in Egypt next year. My best bit of advice to anyone is challenge yourself. Try not to fall into this, try not to just stagnate. You always need a challenge in life. Whether for me it was diving or riding my handbike or just learning to live again. Just put it out there and just challenge yourself.